Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is part 6. I hope everyone had a very nice Christmas. And here is what is quite arguably the best Wheel of Fortune game that Tiger Electronics has come out with, at least in my opinion. Wheel of Fortune Deluxe. If you ask me, it's really the excitement of the game show that you can hold in your hand. Now, I first came across this back in the spring of 1999. My mother and I were at a Toys R Us, and I decided to, and despite the fact that I got my Wheel of Fortune slot machine game just about a couple of months or so earlier, I decided to go over just to have a look at the packaged copies of Wheel of Fortune slots. I don't know why I did it, but I just said, oh, just did it just for the heck of it. So I go to where all the Tiger Wheel of Fortune slot machine games are, and I noticed a new Wheel of Fortune game. And the thing that really hit me first was the wheel label. I was like, whoa, I gotta get that. And I pretty much made it very clear to my mother that I was not going to leave without one. So we got it. And it certainly does play like the actual TV show at the time. So, now one of the things I remember that Tiger Electronics said on the packaging of this game was that it's new and improved, and they weren't kidding. There are a lot of major improvements. For example, you had the puzzle board, instead of being 2 rows of 10 spaces each, it's now 4 rows of 12 spaces each. So you now have many more puzzles, many more opportunities to put puzzles into the game. Yet at the same time, rather than come out with 12 expansion cartridges like they did for the 1995 game, Tiger came out with only 3. So let's take a look at the back. This is what the dust protection cartridge looks like. And here's 3 of them. Number 2 is open because I'll tell you why. If you look on the back of the packaging so this is what it looked like now. A little bit of error. This 300 should be pink. This 550 should be lavender. Same thing here. This 250 should be pink, and this 250 should be lavender. The 300 should be pink. So, but reason why I got the expansion cartridges, at least I got one about just under 11 years ago. I really didn't care which one I got, but I just wanted a picture of the prototype. There are a lot of differences here compared to the final version. Notably, you have, instead of cash bonus, you have double score. This 5,000 is now 50,000. So that's really just a look at the prototype. Now let's talk about the gameplay here. What I really like about this game is, like I said, the wheel label. While the one used in this game was really meant for decoration, this one is given much more purpose, as it's used to determine what you spun up. If you take a look at the screen's board, you'll notice all those colored segments. When you spin the wheel, and instead of just pressing merely a button, you actually got to slide a lever. My first impression was you just had to slide your finger. Nope, you got to do this. And the wheel would spin. Let's get another view. So really cool. And the dot would travel along clockwise until it stopped on a value, and that's what you played for. If you hit something other than a cash space, like for example, you hit bankrupt, it's basically bankrupt. You lose all your money, lose all the money that you won during the round, although previous scores from previous rounds are not affected, provided you solve the puzzle. Lose a turn, you just lose a turn. Free spin, you land on that, you call a letter to pick it up, and it becomes and if you try to land on this the same round, it'll actually skip over to this $300 space right here, this orange one. Free spin is available for only the first 2 rounds. Now for round 1, you look at this area, $1,000 is the top value. For round 2, $2,500. You also have cash bonus, which is basically a prize, and which is basically a prize. And if you land on that, there's a random dollar amount. You automatically get to pick it up, similar to the old rules of containing a prize wedge. Now, unfortunately, the cash bonus really isn't all that interesting. It's increments of $500 up to $3,000. So not a lot, but it can still go. It's still nice to have. Round 2 only, you have this $10,000 space. It can only be awarded once. You land on it, call a letter. But believe it or not, the amount is multiplied by how many times the letter appears in the puzzle. So this $1,000 space will not be active for round 2, but $2,500 will. For round 3, you have this $3,500 cash bonus will still be available, even if I'm right, even if it was awarded in round 2. So like I said, you have $3,500 for round 3. You have this $5,000 for round 3. Now, I don't know if it replaces the $400 or $300. I thought it was $400, but people said it replaces this $300 space for round 3. But this game is also the only Tiger Wheel of Fortune game to have the jackpot space. Now, unlike the show, where it starts at $5,000 and increases by every cash value spun, and you have to land the wedge, call a correct consonant, and then immediately solve the puzzle afterwards. This is nothing like that. You land on it, you call a letter, you get $20,000 flat rate. It's now multiplied by how many letters appear in the puzzle. It's still really cool, though. You get a lot of money. And it was very rare when the jackpot exceeded $20,000, although whenever it did maybe once or twice. And I recall it happening once. It may have happened a second time, but it was never won with at least that much money. Now, I remember the jackpot like it was yesterday, and a lot of people do. I loved it whenever the jackpot was won on the show, and initially I hated it when it wasn't. I wanted the jackpot to be won every single day. Shameful childhood memories, huh? Well, but still, it had a very nice run. It went for 17 years, and I remember being pretty sad when it was when they quietly retired it back in 2013. They replaced it with the Express, but I personally believe the Express should have replaced the Mystery Round. There are too many similarities between it, and I'm not a big fan of the Mystery Round. So, but like I said, the jackpot has a really nice legacy. And there are plenty of Wheel of Fortune games where you can get the jackpot, and this is definitely one of them, although it acts a bit different. So, it still has all the same functions as the 1996 game, only with a little more fun stuff. You know, you have your spin lever instead of a button. Buy a vowel. You get to choose a vowel. They cost $2.50. Solve button. You have the solve button here. You solve the puzzle, and you fill in blank by blank. If you make a mistake, you can, clear it. But I think you have like only 2 or 3 clear attempts. In this button, just like this one, choose the player, choose the number of players at the beginning of the game. You can also check the score during the game. Puzzle, category, enter. You get to see the puzzle, you get to check the category, and the enter is to enter your solution while solving. Now, just like the 1996 game, just be careful. You don't want to, if you're going to solve the bonus puzzle, this will, when you're choosing your letters, 3 consonants and a vowel in the bonus round, it still uses the WHEL format. You can check the category while choosing you can check the category by pressing this button while checking the letters. But after choosing your letters, you're asked to solve. Do not press this button to check the category, because the game will think that you're entering your guess. And you only get one guess at solving the bonus puzzle. But just like the Wheel of Fortune game here, whatever the pointer is, whatever the dot is pointing to, you're going to be playing for 10 times that amount. Here's the on and off button. Here's the sound to turn the sound on and off. That's a different button, just so you know. Yeah. Well, like I said, it has the same, pretty much the same functions as this game. Nothing's really changing. But like I said, they really improved upon it. You have a bigger puzzle board. This lavender box right here is the used letterboard, so no need for anything external. You can check the used letterboard, it's right there. So, like I said, it's just a great Wheel of Fortune game to play. Now, the only problem that I do have with the game, every unit that I've been getting has the sound, loses the sound. And that's actually part of why I'm not doing a playthrough of any of these Wheel of Fortune games, is the sound sometimes doesn't work. I'll see what I can do about getting a replacement unit with sound that does work. I'm going to see what I can do and try and be very careful with it, of course. I don't know why, but hopefully I can find someone who can, fix this. But even so, despite the problems with losing sound quite a bit, it's still a great Wheel of Fortune game. You can really bring the excitement of Wheel of Fortune with you wherever you go. If you want a really good Wheel of Fortune game to play on the go, I certainly recommend this. Now for part 7, I am going to show a Wheel of Fortune game where instead of pressing a button or even sliding a lever, I'm going to show you a game where you actually get to spin the wheel itself physically. You're not going to want to miss it.